The MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Nick Fantasy. Sign up with the promo code MLB SGPN. Get a $1,000 bonus credit. And welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It is currently Monday evening, roughly 5 p.m. Eastern Time on April 14th. I'm Rose Episode Sky Reichel, joined again by Dylan Rockford together and break down the Tuesday card. Should be fun. 15 games on the card. Couple of ones that definitely caught my eye early. We'll get into all of them in greater detail in a second. Dylan, how's it going with you? How was your weekend?
My weekend was okay. No traveling this weekend, but awful. I was trying to make some cookies before the show, and you take your eye off the oven for a minute, and then they're black. So
I thought you did travel. I mean, you weren't actually there for fun, but you had some errands you had to do, right?
Yeah, no, but didn't leave the state. I mean, I helped my girlfriend move, but
That counts.
Yeah, but that's awful. You've moved?
I've moved. I've never had to move somebody else. I'd probably request too much money, they'd stop asking me.
Yeah, I mean,
But
when it's your girlfriend, you got no. You're
true.
obligated.
So how long was that process?
I mean, just getting to Brooklyn is a thing of its own. So getting there, and it was raining this weekend as well. So moving furniture and everything in the rain, it was not terrible, like a 4 or 5 hour thing.
That sounds awful. It's not terrible. Sounds horrible. But as long as it's over, at least you got it done in one trip. So.
Exactly. Did you watch the Masters this week?
I watched bits and pieces. I ended up catching Sunday. To be honest, it's really tough for me to get fully involved in a golf tournament for the first couple days, unless you have some bets on made miss cuts or something. Because in reality, if it's 4 rounds and usually it comes down to the wire, then stressing over Thursday just isn't something I'm really into. So I'll catch it usually in greater detail on Sunday, and then I'll watch it basically straight from Sunday. So I caught the Rory DeChambeau pairing. DeChambeau was out of it by hole 6. Rory was winning easily and choking on multiple occasions, but he was able to hold on and win. Good for Rose, though. Rose gave it a run for his money, and then he fell short. But definitely one of the more entertaining final rounds of the Masters for me that I could remember for a while. And Rory won. So good for Rory. Definitely a fun tournament. But either way, did you watch any of the golf? I know that you were busy helping somebody else move, but did you catch the highlights or anything? Or
I wound up catching a little bit of Saturday, and then Sunday was really shaping up. I thought DeChambeau, honestly, I'm not the biggest Rory fan, so I was
I'm not a fan of Rory either, but good for him. He finally won it.
He finally got the monkey off his back. What was that, 11, 12 years in the making? So it was good to finally see him win first playoff, since 2017. So that was cool. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't rooting for Rose to win it. But he's another one. He's been finished second in the tournament for last 3-4 years now. So he's another one that's been falling short. But yeah, it's been good, and it was good to see. And when a guy acts like that after winning the major in a 6th career, he's the 6th person for the career Grand Slam. You got to feel happy for him. I mean, that was just pure emotion.
Yeah, once again, he was able to survive to the end, and he did I don't want to say bare minimum, but he made it as stressful as possible to actually get it done, but he did, so good for him. Before we get into any of the actual games here on the Tuesday card, quick reminder that you can also find all of the picks and podcasts on the SGPN platform with the app, because it's a free SGPN app, so you can download it for free wherever you do get your apps. Moving on, though, to the first game we're going to talk about on the slate here. You have a matchup between the Diamondbacks and the Marlins. For this game, it's in fact the first game taking place at around 6:40, so no baseball. Again, for some reason, there should be, but there's not. For this matchup, though, Arizona is a massive favorite, -165. You have the Marlins at +140. You have Kelly pitching against Gillespie for the over-under. I see the line being set at around 8.5. So at first glance, I like the under in this game. I don't mind Gillespie. I think that Kelly has not been great, but I do think he has been really, I'd say, fine for the most part. He had one really bad out against the Yankees, but he gave up less than 3 runs in the other 2 starts that he had this season. And Gillespie's fine, but it's mostly Miami not being the best offensively. They were fine over the weekend against the Nationals. The Nationals also can't really pitch. But I think Kelly and Gillespie pitch fine here. 8.5 feels high to me. I'll go with the under. Thoughts?
Yeah, it's not a game I'm running to bet, but there's no way I could back the D-backs at this number. It's either Marlins or pass for me. I only made the D-backs a minus 130 favorite, so plus 146 I'm seeing. I think that's a good price for the Fish here at home. Coming off 2 straight wins in a row, and I really don't know what it is, but Merrill Kelly hasn't looked good in his 3 starts to start the season. Walks continue to be a problem for him, and quietly, the Marlins have been hitting the ball well. 265 at home, 9th in the league in hits, 8th in batting average. They just put up 22 runs in 3 games against the Nationals. I think the Fish could be live here. First 5+ at half, full game, however you want to play it. I agree on the under because I don't think Connor Gillespie is all that bad either. My total came out to 8.2, so I agree on the under. But I'll take a shot here at plus 146 here with the Fish.
Yeah, I agree about the side. I don't see any value taking Arizona at this price, and Miami's been pretty good at home. So I'll go with the Marlins as well for a pretty decent amount of plus money. Moving on to the next game, you have the Mariners taking on the Reds. Now, you have Castillo pitching against Lodolo in a pretty good pitcher's matchup, actually. Seattle's minus 120, and the Reds are even money. The over-under is available at around, I see 8 flat at even money towards the under. First glance, first 5 under. I actually like both pitchers. I think they're going to pitch well. Castillo, we know, is very familiar with this ballpark. He used to pitch there on a regular basis. And you're looking at Lodolo being great so far this year. Seattle won yesterday 3-1. The most classic Mariners scoreline imaginable, but they ended up winning the game because they scored barely enough runs to win, but they got great pitching. Yeah. So I know the Reds were good over the weekend. Then again, Pittsburgh is a really bad baseball team, but they were able to get the sweep. I'll go with the under. At 8, I think you're going to see a lower scoring game. I know it is in Great American, which can be dangerous to take unders in, but I like the pitchers here, and Seattle's offense we know is constantly non-existent. So I'll go with the under. Give me a good pitchers matchup between 2 pretty solid pitchers.
I love it. Back-to-back unders for you, Scotty. There's also an 8.5 out there as well. So if you shop around, maybe get a better number. But both teams, like you said, they're both playing well right now. And I think at the plus 105 price I'm seeing, you just got to back the Reds here at home as a little short home dog. Nick Lodolo, I mean, the way he's been pitching right now, 2 runs given up in 18 innings. He doesn't give up the long ball. He doesn't walk batters. He's also been able to give the Reds 6+ innings, so he's given them length as well. I think he's been a little better than Luis Castillo, and you know they're playing well. They've won 4 straight, but they're only hitting 188 off of lefties. And this is Castillo's first game on the road this year. And I don't know if you remember, but last year he was just not someone you wanted to back on the road. 4-7 last year with a 4.20 ERA. The Reds should actually be the favorite here at home. So my numbers made him a minus 130 favorite. I'll take the short plus odds here with the Reds.
Yeah, if you want to also hear something a bit weird, the Mariners have played 16 games this season. Do you want to guess how many road games they've played?
5, 4?
3.
Wow.
Somehow they've only played 3 road games. So we'll see how the Mariners will look. They're 0-3, by the way, on the road. So I do agree with you about the Reds being the worthy favorite, in my opinion. It is weird, though. They've played 13 of their 16 games at home to start the year.
But why is that, do you think?
I don't know. I have no idea, to be honest.
Important to note, though.
I just noticed it right now, but they're 0-3 on the road. So to go back to your point, they have been spending a lot of time in Seattle, and we'll see how they do in a hitters-friendly ballpark over the next few days. But I do want to point it out. I agree with you that the Reds should be favored in this game. Moving on to the next game, you have the Nationals taking on the Pirates. 2 teams that are not very good over the weekend. You have Irvin pitching against Keller. Keller, though, was great last start as he was able to really just shut down the Cardinals. And they ended up winning that game, I think, in 13 innings. But Pittsburgh's minus 125. The Nationals are plus 105. And for the over-under in this game, I see the line being set at around 8 flat. Now, Irvin had a weird start against the Dodgers. He was awful in the first inning. I think he gave up 4 runs, and then he gave up no runs since. And he actually pitched well for the last 5 innings. So kind of a weird start to evaluate for Irvin. But as a whole this season, he's not been very good with an ERA in the mid-5s. Keller's not been great either, but he was really, really good against the Reds the last time out. So against the Cardinals, I mean, last time out. So we'll see how he does. He kind of had a similar stat line to Kelly, where he was really good in 2 starts, and the Yankees killed him. So his numbers aren't as good as, the actual, I'd say, game-by-game stats suggest. I'll ask you on this one because the Nationals offense I actually like. Pittsburgh can hit, but I think Keller is the better pitcher in this game. So I think I'll go with the Pirates' first 5 in this one.
Yeah.
I just think Keller's a better option than Irvin.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. This is another game where I'm really not running to the window, but I would take a shot here with the Pirates here at home. Maybe first five, kind of eliminate the bullpens. My numbers did make him a -125 favorite. I'm just not a fan of Jake Irving. I don't think he's been that good. 4+ runs given up in back-to-back starts. Nationals, they've lost all three of his starts as well. You know, and not to mention the Nationals, they have the worst bullpen in the league. So they've been really bad. We saw it over the weekend against the Marlins where they just gave up run after run. I'm not the biggest Mitch Keller fan either, but he did actually just have a nice start against the Cardinals. And you're right, he is better, not by much, but he is better than Jake Irving. And honestly, he's not been that bad. Only one bad start. I'm looking, only one bad start against the Yankees. So he has actually been much better than I thought. Nationals don't hit well on the road. I think the Pirates are worth a look here. I would agree with you.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, but I don't want to bet on Pittsburgh. So that's definitely a pass for me. Moving on to the next game, though, you have the Giants taking on the Phillies. Now, for this game, you have Verlander against Luzardo. The Phillies are -155 after a bad series against St. Louis, and the Giants are +130 after winning a series in Yankee Stadium. For the over-under, I see the line being set at 8 flat again. Verlander was really not good in his first couple outings, and then against the Reds, he had a weird outing because he gave up 5 runs in 5 2/3, or 5 earned runs, in 5 2/3. But it was mostly in one inning. In fact, he was actually quite good in the other innings besides the sixth. Gave him no runs in 4 of the first 5 innings. The problem was he gave up 5 in the third inning. So Verlander, though, as a whole, has not been good at all, and he has given up at least 3 runs in each of his last 2 outings. Now, Luzardo's been fantastic so far this season. 2-0, 1.5 ERA. The Phillies' offense has kind of gone quiet lately, but Luzardo has made 1 home start against the Dodgers to give up no runs in 7 innings. He has given up less than 2 runs in 2 straight starts. So I'll ask you, because the Giants right now are hitting well. They're 11-4, but Verlander has been awful. I might actually go Phillies -1.5 here. I just think Luzardo has been that much better than Verlander. Verlander's been a mess. It's not his fault. He's in his 40s. He just doesn't look very good right now, and I think the Phillies will look better at home over the next few days. I'll go with the Phillies -1.5.
Yeah, this should be a good bounce back start here for the Phillies at home. Long road trip that they just had, and now they get Justin Verlander, who, like you mentioned, has not looked good. He's given a 5+ hits in every start. Hard hit rate has been up for Justin Verlander. Walks are up, and he's really not going long into games either, really taxing the bullpen as well. And you mentioned Jesus Luzardo's looked phenomenal for the Phillies. 6+ strikeouts in all 3 of his starts for the Giants. Giants, they're just hitting 192 off of lefties as well. So I think this is a fantastic start. I like the -1.5 as well. I think the Phillies get back on track. First 5 -1/2 I like as well. Eliminate the bullpens, but I'm going to take the over 8. I think the number is just a little too low. My numbers made it at 8.7. I think we see a high-scoring game between 2 solid offenses. So I like the over, and I'm also on the Phillies as well.
Yeah, I can definitely get behind that too. Before we get into any of the other games on the Monday card, on the Tuesday card, quick reminder, they're brought to you by Edgewood. If you've ever tried to have your deposit from the bank right before a big bet, or if you ever need to cash at 2 a.m. for another shot at the tables, but you hit your ATM limit, then you might get your deposit blocked. That'll not happen with Edgewood because they are the first ever bank account built for bettors. You fast, reliable access to your funds, making it easier to move money where and when you need it, without the delays that come with traditional banks. Plus, you get cash rewards every time you deposit into a qualified gambling account. You get cash rewards up to 0.5%. All this for no usage fees, and it is with no minimum balance. And a reminder, they also have a ton of responsible gambling tools to help you manage your bankroll and make informed decisions. Head to edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN, edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by MyBookie.ag because they are the place of every sport. They have the NBA playoffs, they have the NHL playoffs, they have baseball, whatever sport you want to bet on, MyBookie has for you. They have props in every game as well. MyBookie also accepts customers from a ton of locations. You can also use crypto for letting fast payouts and easy deposits. Head to MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. With the first couple games on the Tuesday card. Time to keep it rolling here. We just talked about the Giants game. Time to move on into the Red Sox and Rays game. For this one, pitching matchup will be between Buehler and Pepiot. Rays are -125. The Red Sox are +105, and the over-under in this game is set at 8.5 or 9. Now, Pepiot's been, objectively speaking, solid so far this season. 1-1, 3.38 ERA. Was not the best in his last start. 5 innings, 3 runs against the Angels, but when your best outing is only allowing 3 runs That's not bad at the start of the season. Buehler, though, was awful his first couple outings, but then was fantastic in his last outing against the Blue Jays, giving up 1 run in 6 1/3. Had given up 4+, though, in each of his first 2 starts. I like Pepe more. Boston offensively has really not been cutting it. They had a bit of a war against the White Sox over the weekend, and the offense really was non-existent for a decent portion of that series. Tampa was pretty good over the weekend against Atlanta, and I do think that Pepe's the better pitcher. I'll go Tampa at -125. Think right now they look like arguably the better team, and I do think with a better pitcher, this price feels cheap to me. I'll go with Pepe at a pretty cheap price. You?
Yeah, another tough game I thought to handicap because I didn't want to back either side. I really don't trust the Reds and Red Sox, like you said. They just went through a war with the White Sox. But the total seemed a little low for me. My total came out to 8.8, so I guess I would go the over. I mean, Walker Buehler has been rough to watch this year. Better outing in his last start against the Blue Jays, but to be honest, I still don't trust him. Rays, they have hit the ball well at home, 275 at home, and against righties, they're hitting 282. So they don't strike out, they get on base, and they just had a nice series against a Braves team at home, and they put up 18 runs. So it's going to be a beautiful night. 10 miles an hour wind blowing out into right center field as well. So I do think we'll see some runs here. You mentioned Ryan Pepiot. He has been better, but I do think the Reds at home will be able to muster up a few runs. So over 8.5 here for me.
Yeah, moving on to the next matchup. You have the Guardians taking on the Orioles. Both teams not looking that great so far this season. The Guardians are above 500, and the Orioles are 6-9. For this matchup, you have Logan Allen taking on Charlie Morton. The Orioles are -135 with Morton pitching. Good luck with that one. And for the over-under in this game, I see the line being set at 8.5. First glance over and first glance fading Charlie Morton to plus money. I know that Charlie Morton we've talked about multiple times on the show. We think he might be washed. He's been really bad this season. 0-3 with an ERA in the high 8s. And Logan Allen has not pitched much, but he's been okay. 0-1, 3.6 ERA. I don't trust either pitcher, though. I think the over's worth a look, but I can't believe Morton's actually favored in this game, -135. Give me the Guardians at plus money.
Yeah, I mean, this is ridiculous that they're favorite this much here in this game. Another over for me, though. I mean, no matter how you put it, I think we're going to see some runs here. Maybe Guardians team total is a play as well. Uncle Charlie's given up 4+ runs in all 3 starts this season, or else they've lost all 3 of those games as well. So I don't understand how they're favorite here in this game. They're not playing well. They failed to cover 4 straight games as well. Meanwhile, Guardians, they're finally above 500. They're playing a little better. They've won 4 of the last 5 games. And Logan Allen just had a nice bounce back start in his last outing. Guardians are the better team right now. Regardless, they're playing better. They have a top 5 bullpen. I think the Guardians are live here as well. So I agree. I'm going to take the Guardians here.
Yeah, moving on to the next game, you have the Royals taking on the Yankees. For this one, you have Waka pitching against Max Fried. Yankees are -185. The Royals are +155, and the over-under in this game is set at 8.5. Now, Fried was really, really good against Detroit in his last outing as he just absolutely shoved. Waka this season has not been that great, 0-2, 4.2 ERA. Was fine last start, though. 5 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs allowed. But he has not pitched on the road yet this season, so we'll see how he does in Yankee Stadium. Do want to ask you a trivia question here. Aaron Judge, in his career, do you want to guess his batting average against Michael Waka?
I'm assuming it's bad since you're asking me.
It could be really good. I don't know. That's the mystery.
167.
I wish it was 167. He's batting 48.
Wow.
Against Waka. He is 1 for 21 lifetime. And
wow.
He has 12 strikeouts thrown in there too. Not good. No. Waka has been I'd say, Judge kryptonite for their entire careers at this point. Judge can't hit the damn guy. So if you want to go for maybe some Judge strikeouts in this game, you can do that too. But Waka's been great against him. I don't even know if that actually factors in the playoff numbers because they faced off in the playoffs last year, and I think Judge went 0 against him again. So Judge can't hit this guy. 1 for 21 with 12 Ks. Not what you want to see. The Yankees' offense has been okay recently, but the pitching's not been that great. It's why they lost to the Giants multiple times over the weekend. It was because Stroman, who's going to get DFA'd, by the way, so we were right about that one. Yeah. And you had Rodon, who got destroyed by Lee yesterday. Pitching has not been that great for the Yankees. So the question is, do you want to back Fried or Waka? Because I wanted to bring it up because I know Waka's been able to shut down Judge before. but I do think Fried should be a pretty big favorite because I do think Fried is better than Wacha based on current form. The Yankees, though, on the run line are like plus 110, but I don't trust the bullpen enough.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm going Royals plus 1.5. At minus
Usually,
120.
Yeah, you usually don't take the plus 1.5. I never hear you take it, and usually I don't either.
I think minus 120 though is not that bad.
No, I don't think that either. I'm trying to look for a better number, but yeah, I see minus 120. Shout out Aaron Judge, captain of the United States team for the World Baseball Classic, though. But I agree. I like the Yankees here. I do think this is a good spot for them. It's going to be Michael Wacha's first start on the road though this season. Last year he really wasn't the best on the road. Now having to face the Yankees, who, yeah, say what you want about their bullpen. They do have a top 5 lineup in this league, and, walks have been a problem for Wacha, and that's just not really something you want to do against this kind of a lineup. It's going to be a nice chill night in the Bronx, 15-mile-an-hour wind, so it's going to be a little windy out into center field. So I think we're going to see runs. I like the over, especially with the Yankees bullpen and their struggles. Yankees team total, I think. I'm not going to take – I need more than a plus 110 for the Yankees run line. So maybe Yankees first 5 minus a half. I kind of like that angle as well, but I do like the Yankees. I think they should win.
Yeah. Moving on to the next game, you have the Braves taking on the Blue Jays. Now the Braves are 1-9 on the road. They've been horrible. I know you're thrilled about that.
Yes.
You have Schwellenbach pitching against Gaussman. For this matchup, you have the Braves minus 125. You have the Blue Jays at plus 105, and the over-under in this game is set at around 8 flat. Now, Schwellenbach's been one of the only bright spots on this Braves team because he's been insane so far this season. 1-0, 0.45 ERA. 3 outings, he's allowed 1 run. So he has been just basically perfect up to this point. Gaussman's been fine. Looking at his numbers, 1-1, 2.33 ERA. He was also very good last start, struck out 10 Red Sox in 8 innings and gave up 1 run, 0 earned. So he was fantastic last time out. But I think I might agree with Braves being favored. I like Schwellenbach a lot. I don't mind the under in this game, too. The Braves can't really hit right now, and Schwellenbach's been really, really good. I'll go under in this game, maybe first 5 under, but I think I'll go with the Braves early. I think Schwellenbach has just been better than Gaussman. It's close, though. They've both been very solid. But I'll go with the first 5 under, probably like a 4.5 juiced or a 4. I see a low-scoring game that's probably 2-1 in the 7th inning. So I'll go with the under in the first 5.
Yeah, give me the home puppy here, plus 115 with the Blue Jays. My numbers actually made the Blue Jays a minus 130 favorite. I get Schwellenbach has been amazing and actually fantastic this year, but Braves are on the road, like you mentioned, to start the handicap. They're just awful on the road. They're a fade for me on the road right now. They're hitting 186 on the road, 1-9 straight up. Meanwhile, Blue Jays, I think we said this last week, they're a team you want to fade on the road and back at home, 5-2 straight up. They're hitting the ball well, 288 on the year. I just think they're the better team right now, and you're giving me plus 115 at home. I agree on the under. I made my total 7.6, so I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, maybe first 5 under, but I think at plus money with the better hitting team and the better overall team, I'm going to take the Blue Jays here. So, yeah, give me the home puppy.
Yeah, moving on to the next game, you have the Tigers taking on the Brewers. For this one, you have Flaherty against Priester. For the money line, Tigers are minus 125. The Brewers are plus 105. Flaherty's been great this season, 1-0, 1.62 ERA. Priester, one of the things that he good, was actually really good in Coors in his first start of the season with Milwaukee, as he ended up going 5 innings, giving up 1 run. So props to him for going into Coors and not getting embarrassed. They lost the game anyway because the bullpen fell apart, and Milwaukee's bullpen has been a mess lately. Blew that game on Saturday to Arizona. They ended up punting away that game that Priester started in Coors. They've been really bad out of the bullpen so far this season, and the Tigers have been quietly good so far this season. I think Flaherty's better than Priester. I'm not going to suddenly think Priester is good because of one decent outing against the Rockies team that has one of the worst lineups in the league, and the bullpen blew the game anyway. So I'll go with the Tigers at minus 125. I do think that the Tigers are the better team right now. I think Flaherty's the better pitcher at the moment. Thought about maybe going for the over at 7.5 for 8. I didn't mind the over, but I do think I prefer Flaherty in this one at a pretty cheap price. I'll take the Tigers in the spot.
Yeah, on the over real quick, if you could get a 7.5, I like that. 8 is kind of at my number, but yeah, if you could get a juice, maybe 7.5, I like that. But I agree.
I see 7.5, by the way, on FanDuel at minus 115.
Okay, yeah, that's not bad at all. I would take the over there. I'm on the Tigers as well, though, minus 125. They've been playing actually pretty good, 7-3 in their last 10. They're also 4-1 straight up as a favorite. Meanwhile, the Brewers are just one of those teams, in my opinion, it's just been hard to get a gauge. They're kind of up and down, really inconsistent. They don't hit well at home. Meanwhile, the Tigers, they've been smashing right-handed pitchers. I would argue the Tigers are a better hitting team right now than the Brewers, and I think the Brewers are going to struggle to get to Flaherty, who they've been really solid for them. And I agree, Quinn Priester, he was a fade for his first start. He pitched one good outing. I'm not going to overreact there. He has to do it a few more times until I can start backing him. So Brewers bullpen is awful as well. Bottom 5 in the league as well. So don't trust them to hold the lead, even if they do. So yeah, -125. Give me the Tigers.
Yeah, moving on to the next game, you have the Mets taking on the Twins. Now, for this game, you have McGill, who's been amazing this season, somehow has a loss. He's 2-1 with a .63 ERA against Ober, who was 0-1 with a 7.11 ERA. So for the money line, Mets are -120. The Twins are even money, and the over-under in this game is set at around 8 flat. A lot of flat totals for the card so far. McGill, though, I said before, has been great, 2-1, .63 ERA. I do want to point out that he was really good his last 2 starts. In fact, he's allowed no earned runs in 2 straight starts, but he's not going much length. He has pitched less than 5 2/3 in every outing so far this season. So maybe you want to go for the Mets' first 5. You want only McGill, but their bullpen's been good besides Edwin Diaz, but they've been good besides that. For the Twins, though, they've been awful. They're 5-11. Ober has been really bad too. 0-1, 7.11 ERA. I think that the Mets are the better team. Minnesota, I think, is just not very good, and I do think this price feels cheap to me. Give me the Mets at -120.
Yeah, I would agree. Mets -110. And I got to admit, I haven't been the biggest Tyler McGill fan.
Neither have I, but he's been pretty good.
Yeah, and you got to tip your cap and give credit where it's due. He's been great so far, his first 3 starts, and I think this could be another solid start for him. He's only given up 1 run in 14 innings. Walks have gone up in each start, but I don't think that's going to be a problem here. Twins they rank 26 in the league in walks. They don't really get on base. They don't hit a lot at home in general. They don't score a lot of runs. They're just not a good hitting team. They're 2-4 at home, just 3-10 in their last 10. I want no parts of the Twins right now. They're on my do not bet list. Bailey Ober's just not someone you really want to be backing right now. He gives up runs. The long ball's an issue. And how can you trust the Twins to get him any run support offensively? So, especially like you said, Mets bullpen has actually been really good. So, except Edwin Diaz. I think the Mets keep rolling here. -110 seems very short. So I would agree. I'm going to take the Mets here.
Yeah, moving on to the next game, you have the A's against the White Sox. A bit too early for any tank ball sound effects, but 2 teams that are not very good. The A's are 6-10. Did lose the series to the Mets over the weekend, as the Mets did win 8-0 in the game on Sunday. For the White Sox, though, they were pretty decent against the Red Sox over the weekend, but they are still 4-11. For this matchup, you have Springs going up against Burke. For the money line here, A's are -160, the White Sox are +135, and the over-under is once again a flat 8. Now, Burke has not been good this season. He's 1-2 with a 6+ ERA. Springs has been okay, 2-1, 4.2 ERA. Was not good his last 2 starts, though. Last 2 starts, 9 innings, 9 runs allowed. So not exactly pitching well after having a great road start to start the season, giving up no runs against Seattle. So Springs was very good in his only road start, but he's not really been good since. But we know the White Sox are bad at basically everything. So I'll ask you, because I don't think that the A's are much better either. I think I like the over in this game at 8. I feel like this total's a bit low, but I understand both offenses can be underwhelming on a regular basis, but total feels short to me with these teams. I'll go with the over.
Yeah, I don't love this play, but I'm gonna take a shot. A's -1.5 at +110. Yes, the White Sox did win just 2 or 3 from Boston, but don't let them fool you. They're a bad club.
Yes,
Sean Burke has had back-to-back poor starts, and this offense is terrible. I think they can't hit lefties. We saw that against Garrett Crochet, who had a master class. Saw how angry he got when he let up that 1 hit. I just think this is going to be a good start for Jeffrey Springs, who is better than Sean Burke. He was great in his first start on the road. And I think this could be a nice bounce back start and series for the A's. I'll sprinkle a half a unit on them, -1.5 at +110.
Yeah, I definitely do think the A's are the better team out of the 2 of them, so I don't mind that play. Moving on to the next game, you have the Astros against the Cardinals. Now, for this game, you have Hunter Brown against Fetty Wap. For the matchup here, you have the Astros at minus 120. You have the Cardinals at even money for the over-under. I see the line being available at around 7.5. We have a non-whole number total, which is a nice change of pace. Now, Brown's been great so far this season. A 1-1, 2-flat ERA. Fetty has been kind of up and down. He was good against the Pirates last start. In fact, he gave up no hits. Did walk a lot of guys, though. Did walk 4 guys in 2 straight starts, which is not a good sign. But I do think the Cardinals have been okay so far this season, 7-8. I think Brown's better, though, and I think the price is pretty cheap. So I'll go with Houston at what I think is a pretty decent number, minus 120. In my opinion, better offense. I think the better pitcher in this game. Fetty's walked 4 guys in 2 straight. Not really sold on that. I'll go with the Astros at what I think is a pretty cheap number.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's going to be another home puppy for me. The Astros, they're just not backable in my opinion yet. Yes, Hunter Brown has been really good for them. There's no doubt about it. I don't trust this offense to get him any run support compared to the Cardinals, who they're a top 5 offense. Say what you want about their bullpen and Eric Fetty. Yes, I understand the concerns, but top 5 in hits, total runs, batting average, OPS, RBIs. They're 6-3 straight up at home, 6-4, 6 straight up as a dog. I don't think Eric Fetty's that bad. He's only had 1 poor start. Granted, small sample size in just 3 starts, but I just think the Cardinals are the better team right now. So plus 104, my numbers made him a minus 110 favorite. So I'll take the home puppy here.
Yeah, I think it's been fine. Just the problem is the 2 offenses he shut down were the Twins and the Pirates.
That's fair.
So yeah. I feel like when you face off against a decent lineup, I know Houston's kind of underachieved it so far offensively, but the Red Sox, 3 innings, 6 runs. So I do wonder how much of Fetty's good starts based on opponents or the lack of strength of the opponents, and I do think that can maybe be a bit of a misleader for his actual numbers. So I'll go with Brown and the Astros at a pretty cheap number. Moving on to the Angels against the Rangers. Now, for this matchup, I see the line actually being off the board at the moment. So we'll see if there's a pitching change or not. But as of right now, we have no lines on it. Supposed to be a bit of a doozy for a pitching matchup. You have Kikuchi against Patrick Corbin. So I am not going to take Patrick Corbin. I'll tell you that much. I know what the line's going to be. I don't like Kikuchi either, but over?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, what do you think the
Angels?
total opens up at?
9.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. Even if it is a 9, Scott, I'm still taking the over.
It's a little too early in the season based on the run totals we've seen up to this point to start getting 9.5s or 10s. Like I don't think that's gonna happen.
Except that Coors.
Except the Coors, obviously, and even the Rockies can't hit, so that can be a bit dicey too. So I think it'll be around 8.5 or 9 if I had to guess the total, but I do wonder if the Rangers would be favored in this game because the record is still solid and they are at home in this game. Actually, no, their record is not better. They're 9-7, and the Angels are 9-6. I mean, both pitchers have been really bad. I mean, Kikuchi's 0-2 with a 5 ERA. Corbin's only made, I think, 1 outing, and he got shelled. He ended up having an ERA of 6.75. So I like the over in this game. Think you'll see runs, and it's kind of a basic and maybe a square handicap. But if I don't trust either pitcher, why the hell would I not expect an over to cash in this game? So I'll go with the over.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. I would take the over as well. I mean, Angels also second worst bullpen in the league as well. Rangers top 10. They have a 4.37 ERA as a bullpen. I do think the Rangers would be the favorite, though. They are 6-1 straight up at home.
That's how I feel. Yeah,
slightly, but I don't know.
I'll say minus 120 if I had to guess.
Yeah, and to be honest, you could give me a minus 110, and I still don't think I could back Patrick Corbin, but I agree. I would back the over here. And Texas, they were able to score some runs over the weekend they weren't. They had an awful weekend. It was the Mariners I was thinking about. But against, you say Kikuchi, who 2 starts, 5 ERA, not the best. So I would agree. I would take the over here.
Yeah, moving on to the last game or I should say the second to last game. You have the Cubs taking on the Padres. For this one, you have a matchup between Imanaga and Vasquez, and the Cubs are minus 130. The Padres are plus 110, and the over-under is set at 7.5. Quick trivia question for you, Dylan. Over the weekend, do you know how many runs the Padres allowed to the Rockies?
0.
That is correct. They gave up no runs in 27 innings against the Rockies over the weekend. For this game, I know Imanaga is better than Vasquez. Vasquez's numbers, though, have been better this season. A 1.72 ERA. But San Diego is 10-0 at home. They're undefeated, 10-0 at Petco, and they're getting plus money at home. Sure, I'll take the Padres in this one. I know the Cubs ended up winning the road series against the Dodgers over the weekend. They look good. I'm aware of it, but I don't know how I'm supposed to avoid taking plus money with a team that has won all 10 home games this season. And Vasquez has been very good. His ERA is in the ones, which is good enough for me. Give me the Padres at a cheap amount of plus money, but still plus money nonetheless. Think the wrong team might be favored here. I understand Imanaga is the better pitcher, at least based on stuff, but Vasquez has been fine, and San Diego hasn't lost a home game yet. So give me San Diego plus money.
Yeah, I would agree. This should be a good series. But like you said, I'm going to keep backing the Padres at home until they lose. 10-0 straight up, 9-1 ATS. Both pitchers, like you mentioned, they've been really solid so far through 3 games. And also the bats for both clubs have been really good. Padres, they rake at home, and the Cubs bullpen has been a little suspect, but what did they just put 16 runs up the other night against the Dodgers? That was crazy. But man, this guy, Kyle Tucker, has been on fire.
That was 16 runs, by the way, with a robbed grand slam earlier in the game.
They could have put up 20. No,
they could have put up 20 runs against the Dodgers, yeah.
Do you agree the Cubs need to sign this man ASAP, right?
I said that as soon as they traded for him. I don't know why you would trade for Tucker in the offseason and not immediately give him like $200 million.
It doesn't make sense.
The guy has sick, by the way. Guy's really good.
He's fantastic. 23 hits, 19 runs, 18 RBIs, 15 walks through 18 games with the Cubs. No other MLB player all time has reached those marks through 18 games with any single franchise. It's crazy. They need to sign this man because the number keeps going up. I would look at his props. I think he continues to rake, but I agree. I mean, I'm going to take the plus money here, plus 112 until they start losing at home.
Yeah, the only concern with Tucker's been the injuries over the years, but the Astros knew how good he was. He was a borderline MVP candidate until he got injured. So Tucker's been a great player since he joined the league. The Cubs got him. They traded away Paredes and a couple other guys, but they definitely got the better end of that trade. And I thought they should have signed him as soon as they traded for him, but they did not do so, so we'll see the price keep going up. Moving on to the last game on the card, you have the Rockies against the Dodgers. For this one, you have Feltner against Knack. Knack was awful in his first start, or I should say, first start, I believe, because he came out of the bullpen, I think, against the Cubs in the Tokyo series. But against the Nationals, he is 1-0 with a 10.38 ERA. Against Washington, he got pulled very early, 2 1/3 innings, 5 runs allowed. Feltner's been fine. He was able to survive against Milwaukee. Didn't pitch that well, but he was able to get by, giving up 1 run in 6 innings. And he's made 1 road start the season against the Rays, went 5 innings, 2 runs. So if you want to go for the Rockies, maybe you'd go for the first 5. For the actual money line price in this game, if you want some jokes, the Rockies are plus 250 and the Dodgers are minus 310. The over-under is at 8.5, and for the actual run line in this game, Dodgers minus 1.5 is minus 140. First glance, I'll back the team that scored no runs in an entire road series over the weekend. Give me Rockies team total over in this game. I don't think Knack's any good, and I think you can probably get a decent number on the Rockies at like 2.5 for a team total, which I think is okay. 2.5's nothing. I understand that the Rockies offense has been really bad away from home, like insanely bad, but I do think that Knack is just not cutting it right now. I'll ignore Feltner entirely because he was good against Milwaukee on paper, but there was some traffic on the base path, so we'll see how he does in this one. But I'll go with the Rockies to score 3+ runs, and they'll find a way. Give me the Rockies, once again, team total over. A dangerous play at 2.5.
Yeah, another game where I really don't want any action, but I'm going to take the over 8.5. Total opened up at 9. It's come down to 8.5, and honestly, I disagree with the line movement. My total came out to 9.2. All 3 starts for Ryan Feltner has gone over this number. You mentioned Landon Knock. He's yet to make it past the second inning, and both of his starts, they were not good. Both games finished over this number as well. Rockies have a bad bullpen, and surprisingly, the Dodgers have not the best bullpen either. Bottom 10 in the National League as well. The over has been profitable at Dodger Stadium this year, and I expect the bats to break out in the series for them. It was a rough weekend for them against the Cubs, and you got to imagine, you mentioned the Rockies not being able to score a single run. You got to imagine they'll be able to score. So I like the team total over 2.5, which I think it should. I think that's the line that it will come out at. It's crazy that they weren't able to score a single run, though. But yeah,
is it that crazy though when you think about the team we're talking about here? Is it that crazy?
A single run?
We know this
Like the
team's
White Sox
useless.
just put up 11 runs against the Red Sox.
Yeah, we also know that the Rockies year in year out are constantly just doormats away from Coors Field because they
That's
can't hit.
fair.
So it's not the same. I know Charlie Blackmon's not there anymore, so it's really just not the same anymore. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's embarrassing. But if there was one team that would do it, it'd either be the Rockies or the White Sox. So
Yeah. Makes sense. But I'm going to take the over. I agree. I think we'll see some runs here.
yeah, and there was a chance if you take the regular over, the Dodgers go crazy and they wake up offensively. I see a question in the comment section, though, for you. I see May Call asking you what your thoughts are on Soto so far.
I think he'll get it together. It's crazy because he came when he got signed by the Mets. You and I did the pod together, and you said, he's not the best fielding right fielder, and you're right about that. He really isn't. There have been some miscues in the field that hasn't
you
been
sign
the
him
best.
for the hitting, of course. I was just pointing out that he's really not a great outfielder.
100%. And I would agree with that. But, he obviously has underachieved hitting so far, but it's a long season. And I think he'll turn it around here eventually. I don't think he's that bad. He's hitting 250. It's on base. And I think he's going to eventually start hitting well because Pete Alonso he's on fire right now, Pete Alonso. So I think once Soto starts heating up, I think the rest of the lineup will start hitting up. Lindor's kind of been underachieving as well. Vientos, he's not doing well. Brett Beatty needs to be sent down. He is terrible.
I still remember when Mets fans some Mets fans that were kind of hyped or felt good that he made the roster. And I just thought you're happy when bad players make your roster. Okay, sure. All right.
Yeah, no,
I think he's horrible, but I've thought
terrible.
that for a long time.
I think Acuna's younger brother needs to start playing every day. But we're back on the Soto. I think he'll be fine. The power is kind of concerning that he only has one home run, but he is walking like twice a game, so he is getting on base, which we want to see. But it'll be all right.
Yeah, I do think that one of the byproducts of signing Soto is Alonso being this good, because you're looking at either traffic on the base paths or just not being able to fully pitch around Alonso, maybe the way that you used to be able to. So you can argue it might be a bit of a stretch because Soto's numbers have not been that great this season, but you'd argue that Alonso's success might be correlated to the Soto signing because at least there is some protection in the order from top to bottom, which gives Alonso better pitches to hit. So you can make that argument as well. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up, though, for all the games on the Tuesday card. Now it's time for the Lock and Dog picks. For that, though, quick reminder, they're brought to you by our sponsor, Fantasy, because you can play the Run Pick 'em for a chance of 100 times your money. You can also mix and match your sports with Major League Baseball. If you want to go for the NBA playoffs, NBA play-in, if you want to go for the NHL as well, you mix and match your sports. Once again, chance of 100 times your money. You can also sign up for your new account with the promo code MLB SGPN to get a special confirmed time by the offer up to $1,000 of bonus cash on a fantasy promo code MLB SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm because they're the home of AI back picks and props. They are live from Major League Baseball. They also have models for NBA and golf. You can also build your own model, which is simple and easy to do. They also have a couple of deals going on right now, one for a monthly subscription and one for the annual subscription. So if you want to get the monthly deal, 25% off the monthly deal with the promo code SGPN25, 50% off, though, the yearly deal with a promo code SGPN50. So once again, Rhythm, RITHMM, promo code SGPN25 or SGPN50. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through every game on the Tuesday card. Now it's time for the Lock and Dog picks. Dylan, I'll let you go first. What are your Lock and Dog plays for the show?
Yeah, so I kind of actually like a couple dogs here today, but I'm going to take the Blue Jays here at home. I got a plus 115. I think they should be the favorite here at home. I get Swellenbeck has been fantastic this year, but the Braves are just not that good on the road. 1-9 straight up, and Blue Jays, they've been hitting the ball well here at home, and I think I don't know if they'll get to Swellenbeck, but once that bullpen comes in, I do think they'll get to him. So plus 115 as my dog. I am going to take the Blue Jays, and as my lock, I'm going to take a dog as my lock. I love the Reds here at home with Nick Lodolo on the mound. Plus 105, I'm seeing even money right now, so they'll probably close as your short favorite, but he's been fantastic. He doesn't walk batters. He doesn't give up the long ball. He gives them really good length as well, and the Mariners, they don't hit lefties well at all. So maybe mine first 5 minus a half, but I love the Reds here at home. I think this is a great spot for them. So I'll take the Reds as my lock.
Yeah, so for my lock, I was torn between a couple of plays. It was either going to be Tampa or it's going to be the Mets, actually. I think I'll go with the Mets at around minus 120, just quickly seeing if I can find a better price on that money line. Because I do think at the end of the day, you're looking at the better team, really not laying much, and McGill's been fantastic. I see minus 110 on the Mets. Ober has been good his last 2 outings after getting shelled by the Cardinals in his first start, but he has not really gone much distance. He has gone less than 4 1/3 in 2 of his first 3 outings. Was good against the Royals, though. In his last outing, the team still lost, but he went 6 innings, 1 run. I know the Royals, though, have not been good at hitting so far this season. The Mets, though, have not been as good offensively as we thought, but they were better over the weekend against the A's. Then again, it feels like every A's series features a ton of runs. But I like how the Mets offense woke up. Alonso's been great, and I think McGill has been very good as well. Not going much distance either, but the Mets bullpen has been elite so far this season. Twins bullpen has not been. And, of course, the Twins offensively have been really underwhelming so far this season. Give me the Mets at minus 110 on the money line as my lock. For my dog, I am going to go with the Charlie Morton fade here. I'll go with the Guardians at plus 115. Morton with an 8+ ERA laying 135 is crazy. You actually can find a better number. I found the Guardians money line available at around, I see plus 120 available on FanDuel, so I'll take that. Logan Allen was fine his first outing. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but I think that he's better than Morton right now in 2025. Guardians, though, had a pretty nice series over the weekend, winning 2 out of 3 against the Royals. They have won 5 of their last 6. The Orioles, though, punted that game on Sunday. The bullpen blew it. They lost in extras. They have just not played well in really any areas at this point. They ended up losing one of the 2 games against Toronto because they had 1 game postponed. But they have lost 3 of their last 4. And if you want to actually go a bit deeper, they have lost 4, 6, 7. They've lost 7 of their last 10. They've not been good. And I do think with Morton pitching, I'll keep fading them, especially at a plus money. So give me the Guardians plus money at plus 120 in the money line as my dog. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for the games on the Tuesday card. Dylan, anything else you want to add for you on the show?
No. How much money can I put on Paige Beckers to go number 1 overall tonight?
The most that they allow you to bet. I remember... It's actually funny you mentioned that because I remember offshore one time. Yeah. It was Bet Online. And I didn't know any better because I ended up signing up for Bet Online and I didn't read the rollover requirements. So you're stuck, paying like 3x on your rollovers.
Yeah.
Whatever, which is extremely, I'd say, unfortunate for a lot of people out there that just blindly take the sign-up bonus, ignore the rollover requirement. Point is, though, I needed to find a way to spend $800. And I needed a way to do it as risk-free possible.
Yeah.
So I'd automatically not lose. And I remember that I max bet Ionescu during COVID to be the number 1 pick in the WNBA draft at minus, what was it, 40,000? Minus 10,000, I think, for $800. So my rollover just disappeared because I took Ionescu to be drafted to the Liberty, and she was.
Was she?
Yeah, of course.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she was minus 10,000. It was free. So yeah, that's how I got her on my rollover. I ended up putting $800 on Ionescu to be the first pick.
And what did you get? What did you get back?
What was it, $2? I think. $2, I think, $2, $20, something like that.
That was the easiest $2-3 you've ever made in your life.
It was solely to avoid the rollover. I just had to get rid of it, so I used it on Ionescu to be the first pick in the draft. So wow. I actually have bet on the WNBA draft before. To answer your question, I don't know what the price is. I actually didn't see any, I'd say, lines available on the WNBA draft, but I remember I did see it for Ionescu. Because it was during COVID, they were desperate to get anything out there for people to bet on. And I ended up making $2 and I wiped off my entire rollover. So there you go. That's my WNBA draft story from a couple years ago.
Yeah, I follow the W, but and a little bit of college. And just everything that I'm hearing is that she's going to go number 1. And
well, she should. She just won the title. And, Juju is back in college too. So there's no real competition.
What about Haley Van Luth is she going to get drafted tonight?
She'll get drafted. She's not going to be anywhere close to where Paige is going.
A lottery?
I mean, it's a little bit weird for her because she also transferred a couple times. She was good at TCU, though.
Yeah, she
was.
But
Paige is the person in that draft. Like
she's elite.
She's a phenom, and she's lived up to it. So she had a torn ACL last year, bounced back, won the title as the clear best player. She threw up 40 plus in a tournament game, which you don't see that often, especially in women's basketball. So she'll go number 1. Haley maybe will go. I'd have to imagine she'll get drafted, but I don't really know where, to be honest.
She's
a bit undersized.
Do you think Paige's game will transfer to the W though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like any time you can look at the guards in the W, if you have a good all-around game mixed in with a solid basketball IQ, you can really just play for any team you want to for as long as you want to. Paige will be a very good player. She's not as physically gifted as like a Caitlin Clark, for example, but I think she's definitely going to be a quality starting point guard in the league that probably makes a ton of all-star teams.
Yeah. All right.
So
Sounds
I think
good.
she'll be a very solid first-round pick.
Yeah. Can't wait.
So there you go. I'm not going to watch the draft, but that's my thoughts on the draft. But anyway, that's going to wrap it up for the episode. Remind you can find us on Twitter. Find me on Twitter, Retro Radio. Find him on Twitter at Rock with 2Ks24. Till next time, good luck to all of you and all of your bets. Bye, everyone.